What's up guys, this is Coach Donny from Elevate Yourself, where we change lives through volleyball, training, and inspirational content. Welcome to my volleyball coach reaction to Haikyuu Season 2, Episode 3. If you're new to this channel, I'm a volleyball coach, volleyball player, and personal trainer who provides volleyball tutorials, jump training workouts, and other cool volleyball videos. You can also follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for more content. Thank you to all of you who helped me promote my technical analysis video of Saeed Maroof on the FIVB Facebook page. I'm so grateful for your help and support. Sorry for not including the subtitles in my last reaction video. It just completely slipped my mind. Before we go into the comments from the last video, I wanted to share something that's been heavy on my heart for the past year. There's been a rise in anti-Asian sentiment all over the world since the start of the pandemic, where Asian people are being horribly mistreated from racist comments to violent crimes. I made a post about this in a previous video 1 year ago when it started getting really bad, and now it's even worse. I'm warning you that these images you're about to see are quite disturbing. Many people don't know about these attacks that have been happening all year because the majority of major news networks don't cover them. The Asian community has always been poorly represented in mainstream media, and society wants to keep us all in a model minority box, which is complete bullshit. Imagine if that was your grandpa or your mom that was innocently walking down the street, only to be brutally attacked for no reason. It's sickening to see. So what can you do to help? I've linked an article below that provides resources that you can support to help protect our Asian communities. Most importantly, you can spread awareness by talking about it and reposting these type of news within your social circles, because there are many people that still believe that Asians don't experience racism, which is crazy because I've witnessed it and experienced it firsthand. You can also follow these Instagram pages linked in the description box to stay up to date with popular Asian news. Thanks for listening, and let's fight racism together. Now back to Haikyuu. This is kind of funny, but not funny at the same time, because I'm sure Hinata had so many people tease him his entire life. Thanks for the additional names to add to my list of names to remember. I'm sure I'm going to have to learn them anyway for future episodes, because it just seems that every character in Haikyuu has their own personal story, which is why Haikyuu is so awesome. I agree that it's good that the writer didn't make Kageyama as good at school as he is at volleyball, because that's what makes an extreme character like Kageyama even more relatable and human. I'll be honest, I thought I would only make 1 or 2 reaction videos and stop after that, because people will get bored of my non-typical reaction video personality, or because I didn't say "let's go" every 5 minutes. And now I'm already on season 2. Thanks for valuing what I have to say, even though it's not done in an exciting manner. It's much easier to draw unattractive people, because if something is off in their facial features, it doesn't matter because they weren't meant to look good to begin with. But if something is off about an attractive character, it's much easier to spot. Some of the fans suggested that I watch OVA 2 right after episode 2, but I wasn't sure about that. So I asked my trusted Patreon members to vote, and they said that the chronology would make more sense if I waited till the end of season 2 to watch OVA number 2. So thank you to the Patreon members for your valuable feedback. If you want to vote on more topics and receive exclusive access to other content, like my monthly live Q&A sessions, podcasts, private blog, and behind the scenes footage, then sign up for my Patreon linked below. Now let's get this Haikyuu party started. This is one of the few episodes where Shimizu is the first one featured. I love how she's so on edge. Very similar to Hinata. Maybe it's the light colored hair.
東京遠征の際に借りる予定だったバスがどうも他の部と被ってしまって借りられそうにないんです。予定より
Here's another interesting animation behind the scenes. When you're animating, you're not just showing cool sequences of a single individual. You're really trying to tell a story to engage the viewer. And one great technique that we learned in animation is when you're animating the main person, you also want as many moving parts as possible, even if it's like a benign movement, like Coach Ukai drinking water as Takeda Sensei is talking. That's a way to really make it feel even more realistic and engage in the scene. Because in real life, there's not just one thing going on, right? Subconsciously, we observe all the other things that are moving and sounds that are happening. So that's like the extra mile that animators take to make the animation that much more interesting. Imagine if only one person is animated and every other object is still, it would feel very stiff and fake. Uh-oh. Grades and now money? Ooh, the alumni team. Wow, he's so dedicated. I love Takeda Sensei the more I get to know him. Oh, there we go. The two light-haired people are going to become great friends. Nishinoya is making his formal proposal. When you're around Shimizu talks a lot, that's funny. Oh, that's sad. That's why it's so great for you to be involved in some type of extracurricular to get some confidence in areas that you feel like you can do well in. Oh, Tanaka, my man. Oh, that's a text message from Kenma. I wonder what tournament they're referring to in terms of the first rounds, like the preliminary. Townsperson B. Can't wait to see what that's about. The mom seems kind of standoffish, like kind of full of herself a little bit. Or maybe one of those high-class moms. Maybe I'm just reading too much into her character already. Man, even the small detail of using a shoehorn to put the shoe on, that's a great animation. That's a true statement. Oh man, this mom is just way too busy for her daughter. So it makes sense why her daughter doesn't have a lot of confidence. Oh, this is a good friend or a co-worker. This is sad for me to watch her mom be so cold to the daughter. I'm not saying you have to be friends and happy all the time. I think there's definitely a healthy relationship, like a healthy distance between a parent and a child. Because at the end of the day, the parent is not supposed to be the friend of the child, it's supposed to be the parent. But I think this takes it a little too far, because a child needs to feel affirmed. And what I mean by affirmed is they need to feel like they matter. And so if I were to replay this sequence to demonstrate better parenting, I would actually have the mom take some genuine interest in what Yuri-chan, I think that's her name, what she's interested in, and help her think through her decisions and bounce some ideas off of her, instead of just straight up saying, you better make sure you're serious about this, otherwise don't do it at all. Which, that information is actually good information, because you don't want to commit something half-heartedly, especially for a team that's serious. But allow Yuri-chan to be able to figure out if that's what she wants to do, because once she feels confident of, I really want to do this, then she's going to be much more willing to commit herself to the club team. It's really interesting how this is a volleyball anime, but you also get to really experience some of these real life scenarios where you have a parent that's probably too involved in her work to even pay attention to her child, and you see what happens to the child as a result of that type of relationship. Girls' changing room. Surprised Tanaka's not waiting outside. Oh, we finally get to see some backstory on Shimizu. Yeah, you would never see these type of scenes in American cartoons, but very frequent, I'm sure, in anime. Yeah, take some genuine interest in what's going on. You don't have to be perfect, you just have to be available and engaged. There we go, we got... I already forgot his name. Yamaguchi! Ha! I remembered. Thank you guys for all the reminders. Here we have a conversation going on the left side between Coach Ukai, Hinata, and Tsuki, and then we have Suga instructing Yamaguchi to how to properly mop the floor. So that's just really that extra effort that I really appreciate about good animation like Haikyuu. Yes, blocking as a way to score points, not just a passive skill for sure. Tsuki's too practical. I love how Hinata's just pure belief. The four idiots. Ooh, that's right, they're gonna get a scrimmage today. Get to see some action. The world is at peace because Shimizu's there. That's hilarious. Psyching himself out. I love it. There's no such thing as a practice match. Every game is a chance to compete your best. It's hard for non-athletes to understand why athletes get so serious about their competitions. I can't wait to hear his response. Yeah, it's natural for natural competitors. It's hard to explain to non-competitors for sure. So I definitely understand Yuri-chan's confusion. The tutor Tsuki. I thought they weren't using Tsuki as a tutor anymore. Ooh, the team's here. I love the respect, a formal welcome. Oh, they got a person with a shaved head too. I bet you he's got the similar personality to Tanaka. He's also going to want to learn more about Shimizu. Here's a funny detail. Everyone's bowing at the same angle except for Hinata, and that's got to be intentional. I think that just goes to show how passionate he is about volleyball and how competitive he is. Everything he does, he's going to do it 100%, even if it's a bow. Ooh, she's going to serve. Oh, that was awesome. Oh, man. Shimizu she got it down on the first try. And her fan club is very impressed. Ooh, we get some insight with... I'm not even going to try to pronounce the name. I got to see it in writing. Oginishi. Okay. Maji desu ka? It's interesting how so many teams are aware of Hinata's ability, even though he was not even on the radar in middle school. Nice kick! Nice kick! Nice kick! Oh. Yuri is just adding such another fun element to Haikyuu. String hairband. That's funny. Ah. Wow, so rare for Shimizu to speak so frankly to someone on the team. Hinata's over there charging up. This is the most that I've seen Shimizu talk. She does talk more with Yuri around. I love it. Bring back some of those painful memories. If you guys remember what I talked about with regret. Regret can be a great motivator. Learn from your mistakes. And let painful memories motivate you to be stronger and better. Ooh, a new experience even for Katsuno. Oh, this is Yuri's first game. She's gonna get hooked after watching this. Of course, starting off with Kageyama's great serve. Oh, great jump serve right in the seam. The seam is the space between two players or a player and a line. And the seam between two players is one of the best places to serve. Even if it's not as fast as Kageyama's serve, you get the benefit of forcing two people to have to communicate in a short amount of time on who's going to get it. So this is where I like to line up my serve approach, is in between areas 5 and 6, which is the left and middle back players. And I just hit it as hard as I can and I line up in that seam. And it's effective even if I don't get an ace. Usually there's some miscommunication and it does break down the passing where they can't pass the ball as well. And they're completely frozen. Yeah. I love her innocence. Even just scoring is new to her. That's great. But she's willing to learn. Oh, but we got Tsuki. Oh, great dig, Nishinoya. Oh, overpowering the blocker. Oh, great dig by Daichi. Great angle, that platform. Man, they just look fluid. 19 to 12. That's a big point differential. There we got Hinata with the crow feathers coming off, showing off his quick ability. Oh, beautiful animation. One thing I love about the animators is they even include the texture of the volleyballs. So there's so many different types of volleyballs out there. There's Molten, which they also use, the Fleece Tech, as well as the Mikasa volleyballs, and they both have different threading for the leather. And the fact that they would even take the time to even paint out each dimple on the volleyball is just the amount of detail and the work that is required is impressive. And to animate that with the dimples, the artwork just continues to get better each season. So I wonder if season 3's animation and artwork continues to get even better. That'd be crazy. Like floating down like birds. I love that. He's like, set me higher, challenge me, Kageyama. Yeah, great competitors are never satisfied. That's Hinata and Kageyama are starting to get on the same wavelength. They probably crushed them. Yeah, 25 to 16. This is cute. Just two kids just having tons of energy just coming out. And of course, Suki just too cool for school over there. Townsperson B. I'm curious what they mean by that. That's got to be a Japanese saying or some interesting translation. Townsperson B. The moon. Hey, this is like Hinata also trying to inspire her, just like how he was inspired that the decoy is also a cool role. Oh, that's cute. She's making some volleyball drawings. She's starting to get bit by the volleyball bug, as we like to say in the United States. Oh, that's awesome. On a Saturday. Oh, here she is. She's going to put her daughter down again. Kageyama's contemplating deep emotions. Ooh, that's awkward. That's happened to me before. The mom's gonna be Tokyo. But the mom is too busy with the work again, of course, to care about what's really going on. Oh, even the friend sees what's going on with the daughter, and he seems to. That's great that he cares about her and recognizes the. I wouldn't say broken relationship because I don't know enough about their relationship, but less than ideal relationship. Champion schools have two managers, I guess, in Japan. Uh-oh. what's gonna happen here when he goes back into Yuri's house. Have I ever been calling her the wrong name this whole time? Is it Yachi? Yeah, is she afraid she's gonna get hit by a ball? Hey, they're the same height. That's funny. I love the honesty and directness of Hinata. Oh, he's taking her to tell her right now? Heck yeah, he runs fast. Spends half the anime running. Change from my worthless self. Yeah, she has to own her own desires and not have to wait for her mom, unfortunately. I'm curious how this conversation is gonna go. The mom's probably just gonna go, huh? As long as you make my breakfast, you can go. Gosh, someone's gotta explain to me what is Townsperson B. All that pent up excitement. She's intense. Intense like Hinata. At least she got some approval from the mom there. And the mom didn't put her down. She's like, great. You're showing enough passion. Go do it. Oh, she's finally proud of her daughter, but she's got to show it. But I know that's not very common in Asian culture. And she has just taken ownership of this team already. That's great. Is Inoshita sitting there with a ruler getting ready to spank them if they make a mistake? Ah, that's good. She's finally helping her. This is good. Getting involved. Oh, I think she might be making flyers or some graphics for the team. So the mom must work for a marketing firm or some corporate environment for sure. Oh, a hug. Okay, maybe she's not as bad as I thought she was. Yeah, how do they have a picture? Because they don't really have photographers. Okay, there we go. I know I've been pointing out a lot of great things about the anime, but on the same token, I also have to point out some of the not so good things. So here, the perspective is really off. If Hinata's only maybe 5'5", I'm sorry, I don't know how much that is in centimeters. You see how she looks super tiny relative to the pole. So she should be a little bit taller. And that's what happens when you animate in layers. Because if you guys remember me talking about in a previous episode, usually they have an illustrator that has a still background that looks really nice. And then they'll animate individual components on separate layers. So they'll have Kageyama on one layer, and then Hinata on another layer, and then we have Yachi, forgot her name already, on another layer. So they didn't adjust the size of her animation, so it just looks really off. Oh, great. Oh, that's sick. Heck yeah. Man, that's a great graphic. I love the vertical text. Oh, that's a flyer. He gets to see himself in the flyer. Yeah, he was riding last time he was riding by the store, he was looking at the other little giant on TV, so it's cool to see himself in that window. Oh, that's a poster for accepting donations for the team. Oh, they probably have to take a group picture to continue to promote their team and fundraise. Oh, so lucky. She gets the gear too. She gets the Karasuno High School. That's awesome. Of course, Suki's too cool to participate in that. Uh-oh. Let's see how they did. Tanaka's praying to the gods. Here's my immediate reaction to episode 3. I thought there was going to be a lot more playing in this episode because they were going to scrimmage Uegenishi, I think that's their name, but ended up being a lot of story, which is fine because I think that's what really provides a warmth and depth to this anime. And we really got to learn more about Yachi. Initially, I thought she was just going to be a typical annoying, whiny, high-pitched, overly dramatic anime character, but you get to learn more about how she is as a low-confidence person, her relationship with her mom, but also she finally found something that she might feel like she's a part of. And that's so important as a young person to do things outside of school. And not to say that school's bad. I think school is very important for everyone to engage in. But in my experience, majority of people don't really look forward to going to school, and they don't really find their confidence in school. So that's why I believe everyone needs to participate in some type of hobby or extracurricular or be a part of an organization so they feel like they're valuable beyond their test scores and their academic performance. And you can see that low confidence from Yachi and how she feels not very good at anything. And she also feels maybe unworthy to be a part of an organization where people really strive for excellence. Luckily, there's great people in Karasuno Volleyball Club team, especially with Shimizu, who's just been a great hostess with her and teaching her patiently on how to be a team manager, but also advising her on life things, such as, don't get too distracted on being the best team manager. Just take interest and do the best you can and be available for whatever the team needs. And that's exactly what Yachi's been doing. I might have judged Yachi's mom a little too harshly and a little too early, because toward the end she did start to take a little more interest in what Yachi was doing, but I still feel like it's a little too extreme and she could probably be paying more attention to her daughter. The other fun part is seeing how Hinata and Yachi's relationship is growing, and you see not just how Yachi is helping Hinata work on his schoolwork, but now Hinata is encouraging her to take ownership of this experience, and he even pushed her to the subway to announce it to her mom and say, "This is what I want to do." And that was such a life-changing experience for her to finally speak up to her mom, not in a bad way, but to speak confidently and say, "Mom, this is what I want to do," and to announce it. And that's just a really great moment for a person that lacks confidence. You can tell that Karasuno still remembers how painful the loss was from the previous tournament, but also how determined they are to continue to be better and prepare for the next tournament, because they played Owuginishi with such confidence and looseness and determination. So I hope that mentality continues to translate when they play tougher teams in Tokyo. But first, the 4 idiots have to pass their exams, so hopefully everyone can make it to the Tokyo Games. Thanks for watching my reaction video. If you want to watch any of the other previous episodes I've reacted to, make sure you check out the playlist linked below. We'll see you guys in episode 4.